Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
My name's Taylor. Married. I have 3 children. I have a 5-year-old, 3, and a 1-year-old. My wife and I would like to get some help and some advice from y'all in regards to our budgeting. I wouldn't so much say that we have a money problem, but I would say that we have a problem agreeing on what to do with our money.
Oh.
And I think Dave said it before. I think one of us could be considered more of a spender, whereas the other could be considered more of a saver.
Let me guess, you're the saver.
Yeah, that's my guess as well.
Right. Trying to find a happy medium so that we can both be happy, enjoy life while also saving. And more importantly, I just, possibly don't want to work forever.
Sure. Now,
so
what is the,
let's get right from here.
Well, let's get right to the problem. Where are we not on the same page?
It'd be with regard to spending, specifically credit card spending per month.
How much?
So individually, I spend probably on average around $2,500, $3,000 a month on my credit card, and she's been closer to $5,000 plus per month.
Well, wait a minute.
Hold the phone.
How much do you actually bring in actual money every month? Because that for sure.
Are you all running all of your expenses on a credit card? Is that what you're doing?
Not everything. For instance, we pay our credit card off each month. Our house note's taken out of our checking account, and our house note is really our only reoccurring debt.
What's your take home pay?
Fortunately. And that's kind of the hard question. So I work on commission, and through a job change a few years ago, it's been hard for me to, because my wife's asked me the same question.
Well, what's a good month and what's a bad month?
That stays the same. A lower month would probably be around $6,500 to $7,500.
Okay.
Take home, and then a higher month could be closer to it could be 20,000 plus. Kind of just depends.
So what? Tell me, what's the purpose of the credit cards and all this? Because for me, that just there's already the unknown with the fluctuating income, and then adding the credit cards with no real boundaries around it feels like it's just adding more chaos to the equation. So why do you and your wife, and let me also add, you make a fine income? So what's the purpose of the credit cards, and what is it serving?
It's a really good question. I've considered getting rid of them. I don't really have a good answer as to why we have them. Mm-hmm. I have had a credit card since I guess I got out of college, and I've fortunately always been able to manage it, at least as far as I can tell. Like, I haven't racked up a bunch of debt, so I've just kept the credit card. And when my wife and I got married, got her one too. Is
it a credit building thing for you, or is it we can just spend on here and not really have to think about it until it's time to kind of tally it up sort of thing? If you had to point to one reason, what do you think it is, even if it's not you, your wife's reasoning behind it? Right. Initially, for me, it was credit building. Mm-hmm. I just kind of got used to budgeting, comfortable budgeting with what I knew I was going to spend on my credit card. And I guess I'll point out, a while back, like years ago, when I originally had this conversation with my wife, she was paying some bills automatically on her card, and then I was paying some bills automatically on my card. We've since changed everything to be auto draft from my card for the majority of it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of some of my charges are necessities, like the credit. So the majority of your $2,500 is your household bills, and then a little bit of spending for you. Am I to understand that the $5,000 she's spending per month is just kids' clothes and all the fun things? Is that what it? Because you opened up this call, and it felt like to me, Jade, correct me if I'm wrong, I was feeling like the way you were saying this, you're a very kind man, and I think you're a gentleman, but it felt like my wife is blowing a bunch of money on her credit card, and I'm taking care of serious stuff. I got some audience folks that are shaking their head in the lobby. So is that what's going on? What is she spending the $5,000 on? For sure. Y'all, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I would consider, the way I say it is, I think she's buying a lot of things. I hope that this call excites both of us and her to look at more long-term. Is she listening to this call? Investments. Well, here's the
But she
problem.
knows that I'm on. Yes.
Oh, she does. Oh, this is great.
There's no boundaries, right? And by boundaries, I mean there's no budget. There's no plan set ahead of the month that says,
Right.
here's what we're spending our money on, and here's what we're doing with the excess after we've spent our money on the things that we want to. Now, do you see what I'm saying? And so
For sure.
I would say for you guys, I mean, I'm always going to tell people to cut up their credit cards, but for you guys, it's like a no-brainer. I feel like in many ways, it's just creating more chaos around the subject of money, and it's creating a free-for-all, because I don't know what the limit is on these credit cards, but clearly it allows you to go out of bounds when she feels like going out of bounds. And the great thing about cold hard cash, Ken, when it's gone, it's gone.
However,
like there's no more.
However, I think Jade's right. But Taylor, I feel like the bigger issue is the fact that you guys don't have a very clear spending plan every month, and whether you're paying cash for the $5,000, as Jade is suggesting, or you put it on a credit card, the stressor for you is how much money you both are spending, whether she's spending most of it or not. This is a we thing. I'm assuming you guys are not separate accounts. You guys are joint banking account, and you guys are together on this. Is that true or false?
That is true. We were separate when we got married,
Okay,
and I thought it worked fine. We've since made it joint after our first child.
That's
and
good.
I do want to mention that so I try to max out my 401k. I come close, or a couple years a little short of it. She contributes full. She's not maxing it out, but she takes advantage of her company match. Now, she's working a little bit less now that we have 3 children, so she's not going to be able to max out her 401k.
Sure, but let's cut to the
more.
Let me cut to the chase, because we got about a minute left, and here's what I'm thinking.
Absolutely.
I want to get Jade's take on this. After listening to all this, you're stressed out about how much she's spending. And that means you guys got to get on the same page with a real budget, like Jade said. But more importantly, I think this is a marriage conversation about what you're valuing. And we don't have a lot of time to discuss this. But to me, the big question that I have for you is, and I want you to give it to me in 10 seconds or less. All right? Just spit it out. How much money out of the $5,000 that she's spending do you want to earmark to something else, which is what's created stress for this call?
I would like to have at least 2,000 of that earmarked towards savings, investing, charitable.
That's what I
other
thought.
Things, not just spending.
That's the starting point, Jade. I want to give you jump in here, but I think that's where he's got to get to with her.
Yeah, and the way to do that right now, you're doing the budget the way I used to do a budget, which is I plan for all the things I know I have to pay for: house, car, phones, things like that. But everything else is up for grabs. Treat yourself money. You need to take that treat yourself money and plan every dollar of that money as well. And yes, it can include some of the fun things your wife wants to do, but it also needs to include the really important things like planning for the future that you want to do.
You guys got to get together and talk this out. Share your feelings around this stuff, and then come together with a plan.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.